Welcome to the show, presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. What's on my agenda? What is on my agenda? MLB, Major League Baseball. Yes, it is you again. Yes, it is you again. I'm not going to romanticize this. I'm not going to candy paint this either. I'm just going to hit you with some non-negotiable truths, better known as facts, better known as universal agreements, better known as see something, say something. I tried to warn you many moons ago. I tried to warn you in the present tense. I tried to warn you in this realm. However, the leadership at the top, and yes, that is you, Manfred, Commissioner Manfred. Serious question. Do you even like baseball? I mean, I'm trying to figure out everything that you're doing. I'm trying to think outside the box. I'm trying to think outside the galaxy, the solar system, the universe, and everything in between that I miss. I can't come up with an answer. I can't see what you're trying to do. It makes absolutely no sense unless you don't like baseball. You're trying to destroy a sport that you could never play as a kid, that you never liked as a kid, that for some reason it tormented you. The players tormented you as a kid, or there's some kind of deep seated memories that are nightmares, and you are now getting your revenge. You are now taking it out on the rest of us who actually care about the game. You're now taking it out on the rest of us who actually care about the game, and step by step, brick by brick, layer by layer, you are destroying a sport that's already was preparing to destroy itself. You are speeding up the process. You might think that you are slowing the process down or helping your owner friends make more money, but how about this? The direction that is going isn't a good one. The direction that is going is a bad one. The direction that is going to be not good for all parties involved. Just look at the stats. Just look at the numbers. It's there. And to create a straw man or to create fires when you need to be putting out fires. Who does that if they love something, if they like something, or if they want something to succeed to begin with? That's what I gotta say. Looking at this from all angles and adding the factors upon factors and the variables, I come to the conclusion, the educated guess, for you it's a hypothesis. There's no way you like baseball. There's no way you enjoy the sport. There's no way you care about it like anybody else who's involved in the game. So why are you cutting off your nose to spite your face? Why are you cutting off your nose to spite your face unless this is unless this is destruction? Pure and simple, your end game that you planned out many years ago in a basement somewhere, or maybe outside when you were denied a chance to bat, hit the ball off the tee, or some other reason. I don't know. My mind reading game can't work on you because it has to have a mind to read to begin with. I'm just guesstimating with all this. Baseball, you wasn't even on my radar at this point because I thought you would listen. Correction. I thought that you would actually take some time to revisit, take some time to think about what you were doing, and maybe, just maybe, come to the conclusion that the rest of us came to and say, you know what? this might not be a bad, or this might be a bad idea right now. We can revisit this and try this next season. We can revisit this and try this the off season. We can revisit this and try this some other time. But mid-season, it's not going to be a good, great, or even average to mediocre outcome. This isn't going to work on any levels, and if it do, it's going to come with unintended consequences that nobody prepared for. Silly me for assuming that. Silly me for thinking that. I know, but you tug on my heartstrings, and that's why I just had this little teeny tiny bit of hope that it would have happened. Not anymore. Not anymore. You have shown me once again, baseball, who you truly are. You have shown me once again what you are all about. You have shown me once again that bad leadership at the top trickles down everywhere else, and it doesn't matter. It does not matter. There's a saying for that, but this is a family program, and I'm going to keep it PG. There's a saying for that, but this is a family program, and I'm going to keep it PG. But baseball, you wasn't on my radar. I was prepared to go a different route. I was prepared to point out the hypocrisy on another league. I was prepared to point my thumb for the hypocrisy of another sport in general, but this came about and I had to pump the brakes on everything and just say something. I gotta say something, even though I said something previous, but the bat signal was in the air. The panic button was pushed. All of the bells and whistles and the indicators that I normally pay attention to were ringing and buzzing and doing everything to say there's a problem. Something is needed to be said, something that's need to be addressed, and there was no way I was going to let this go by without saying a single word, especially when we have this relationship. Especially when we have this special relationship, because you are my love. You are something that I romanticize way too much. But the fantasy is going away. The fantasy is going away, and I'm starting to get hit with some realism. I'm starting to get hit with that real. And the real is saying that this is not it. This isn't the way to go. This isn't the steps to take. This isn't the process to complete the process. None of that. But hey, it starts from the top. Manfred, come on now. Be real. Be real with your boy. You can tell me. I won't say a word. It'll help me sleep at night if I knew that secretly you don't like baseball, because then all this other stuff would make sense to me. All of these other things would make sense to me if in the back of my mind I knew for a fact, the non-negotiable fact, that you didn't like baseball. It would help me sleep at night. It would bring me comfort. It's like that special blankie that you have, that you need to go to sleep at night when you're just a little teeny tiny tot. Because everything else is so scary and so strange. But the blankie is familiar. The blankie is comfort. The blankie reminds you of being safe. You telling me that you hate baseball, that would be that blankie for me. That would be that blankie for me, that peace of mind, knowing in the back of my mind and my head that the reason that this is happening, the reason that this is taking place, the reason that these things are going on, or the reason that no one's saying anything about this, and the reason that the Hall of Fame voters do what they do, and you let them, is because you want the sport to end. You want the sport to be bitty bygone. Then all of that makes sense. Would wish that you would be replaced knowing that? Probably not. Probably not. I'll just know how to make moves. I'll just know what I'm dealing with. I'll just know how to look at the sport going forward from this point on. Because if it's changing in that direction, where are the traditionalists? Where are those same traditionalists that want to hold up tradition even though some of the traditions need to go away? Where are they? Where are they? They love or like the sport just as much as I do, right? You do? Traditionalists? That's an open-ended question. Only you know the true answer to that. So while Manfred answered his question, how about you answer your question? You like and love the sport just as much as I? Shouldn't you have the answer to this as well? Unless you know the answer. And if you do know the answer, how about sharing the answer with the rest of us? We're big people. We're old people. The numbers say it. The numbers say it. It's not like we're youngsters and young people and don't know how to process information. It's not like we're watching to be excited and watching for the joy and the pure entertainment of it because of the true outcomes. There's not really much entertainment to begin with, and saying that these rules or the new rule being put in place or the new rule being forced is to bring action about. No, there are other ways to bring action about. If anything, this is admitting a mistake or just being disingenuous to begin with. Because where was this same fervor? Where was this same energy? Where was the same focus? As I've said previous, where was the same focus when it came to the steroid era? Sure, Bud Selig was the commissioner. Some of these owners are the same owners. Some of the people that's in charge are the same people. Some of the managers still are involved or were involved during the time. It's not like all of this stuff just came out of nowhere and just poof, magically appeared like that. Yeah. And that's not me doing my happy dance. That's me doing my I want to be comfort because I need my blankie dance. Manfred, make it happen. Or please, can you help me out with this? I've given so much of my time. I've given so much of my energy. I've given just about everything that I can give to the sport. You can just answer the question. Even if you lie and say no, that is cool. That is okay. Because history later on, down years later, maybe a few decades, but I'm gonna go with a couple of months later, that can be really determined or truly determined whether it's true or not by the more and more actions that you take. Because once you keep stacking bad action on top of bad action that's affecting the game negatively, how can you actually like or love something when you're going and taking it down a negative path and a negative road to hurt it in the long term? Make that make sense, please. I'll wait. Make that make sense, please. I can wait. I will wait. Baseball. You was not on my agenda for this occasion, but the actions taken. And I can't say that I'm upset or mad that the pitchers are going ape. I can't say that I'm upset or mad that the pitchers are putting on a show for being harassed by the umps or managers or players and what have you. Because the game is turning into comic relief. The game is turning into a joke. Is that the way you're gonna bring new viewers in, Manfred? Hey, let's watch this couple of clips or couple of seconds of these players losing their minds. Yeah. Misery loves company. Yeah, let's make fun of the misery. Let's make fun of the pain. Let's make fun of the joyless. So it's not watching because they want to watch. You can watch just about anything. It's watching because people watch train wrecks. You know, you're driving on the road, and on the other side of the highway or on the other side of the road, there's a wreck, but for some reason, the lane or the lanes, multiple lanes going in a different direction that's on the other side is slowed up to a slow crawl. Why does that happen? Because people watch wrecks. People like train wrecks. People like misery. Misery loves company. People like others' pain. So they're not watching because they love the game. They're not watching because they can give a hoot about the game. Or they don't give a hoot about the game. They're not watching like the rest of us are watching. For entertainment, for the joy, for the fun, for the stats, for the game within the game. They're not watching for any of those reasons. They're watching the few seconds, the few clips to laugh, hee, laugh, ha, look at these, insert adjective that means degrading players. Insert adjective that means degradative players. That's why they're watching. So do you think they're gonna come back? Player would have to show up another player, and they just have to up the ante and keep doing wilder and crazier things, and then the viewer will keep tuning in for the couple of seconds clip because they're getting crazier and crazier and crazy, you know, like reality TV. Oh, is that it, Manfred? Is that it? Is that the end game? To turn baseball into reality TV. It's trash. People watch it. It's cheap. The people on top make a lot of money. Everybody else get what they get, but it's extremely popular and it drives the ratings. Is that your vision of baseball? Is that your vision of baseball, to turn it into reality TV? Because if that's the case, you are 20% of the way there. You're 20% of the way there. I know last time I spoke about speaking to the writer of the unwritten rules, I'm starting to think now that maybe the writer or one of the writers of the unwritten rules is part of your family. It's somebody that you know personally. It's somebody that you grew up with, or maybe somebody that's 6 degrees of separation from you. That's okay. That's okay. I can take back that request to talk to or to be involved with some of the writers of the unwritten rules. I can walk that back. I can no longer want that anymore. However, how about this? When I do that, you go ahead and get baseball people who actually like and love the game and ask them and get with them on how to modernize the game, how to change the game so that it's having a positive effect amongst the viewers, the players, and everybody involved. Is that too hard? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Or is this whole scheme to get the fans angry, the players angry at each other, while you and the owners and everybody else divide and conquer for a new CBA? The new CBA's coming, collective bargaining agreement, that's coming around. So is the strategy divide and conquer, divide everyone to conquer and get everything you wish to have or want to have? You can't destroy something and expect to put it back together again or in some form of fashion and expect the fans to come back. It took a steroid era to bring the fans back the last time. Do you think that's gonna work this time? Do you think with the technology, with the knowledge, the abundance of knowledge that's out there, do you think that's gonna be that easy, that simple to divide and conquer and destroy, lockout, strike, or what have you, and the fans will be willing to come back like the snap of the finger or the drop of a hat? Because I got news for you, that's not happening. I got news for you, that's not happening. It took a manufactured steroid era to bring some of the fans back, and a lot of them didn't come back then, and they are still gone. The numbers show that. The demographics show that. Cutting your face to spite the cutting your face, or you can cut your nose to spite your face, but just cutting your face to say I'm different or I want to be different doesn't mean it's a good idea. Jumping up and down or running around in circles because you got energy to burn doesn't mean that you're burning the energy in an efficient manner. It just means you're confused. So Manfred, answer the question first. Traditionalists, hold Manfred to that unless you know the answer, and then you should inform the rest of us. Players, hey, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Fans, the little, teeny, tiny group that's left, do what you do. I can't fault you for whatever direction you decide to go. And everybody else that's hate watching or watching for the comic relief, I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you. How I'm gonna say something? How am I going to say anything positive by you dancing on the tombstone of something that I hold true and dear to my heart? If anything, I'll let the shirt say it.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.